A lot to be proud of, and it all happened so fast, like it's hard to appreciate in the moment.
That is Iowa native and Indiana Fever star, and now Time's 2024 Athlete of the Year, Caitlin Clark, looking back at a whirlwind year.
Caitlin Clark has just taken the internet by storm, but not for the reasons you might expect. In a move that left the basketball world in awe, this 22-year-old superstar effortlessly swept up awards, sparking envy among some of her WNBA peers.
I see are the bees that are being dramatic about Caitlin Clark. That's all I see. They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court.
From being named Time's Athlete of the Year to securing a spot on Forbes' 100 Most Powerful Women list, Caitlin Clark's trophy case is overflowing with accolades. While countless fans are celebrating her remarkable achievements, others aren't so supportive and are throwing shade her way. You won't believe who's leading the jealousy parade, and what they're doing will absolutely stun you.
Time magazine recognizes the monster impact Clark had on basketball, saying good luck naming another athlete who altered the trajectory of their entire team sport within 5 months on the job.
Caitlin Clark has taken the basketball world by storm, effortlessly collecting awards as if they were going out of style. She clinched Time's Athlete of the Year, secured a spot on Forbes' 100 Most Influential Women, made it to Forbes' 30 Under 30, and to top it all off, she's been nominated for the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. But why is a 22-year-old rookie receiving so much recognition?
I first want to start with Time Magazine, Ari, and I think this is maybe the least surprising announcement of the year, that the Athlete of the Year for Time Magazine is Caitlin Clark.
Imagine a young woman stepping onto the court, instantly capturing the world's attention. That's Caitlin Clark for you. She's not just breaking records, she's obliterating them, with an astonishing 62 records in the WNBA alone. These numbers aren't merely impressive, they're legendary.
There's only one that can do what Caitlin Clark did. Bring all those eyes. For pure basketball purists, there's nobody like her. Now, culturally, we can make an argument, but like on the court, what she did, and I don't know if you saw, Indiana Fever yesterday posted this clip of Caitlin, and the caption was just her accolades, and it took 5 minutes to read, and I'm like, girl, do you want to chill at all? She doesn't know.
Zero. And listen, I think this is probably the easiest decision to make, right?
But Caitlin Clark's impact extends far beyond the stat sheet. She's transforming the game in ways no one could have anticipated. Remember when skeptics claimed that women's basketball wasn't exciting? Clark has made them eat their words. Her unique playing style captivates audiences, turning every game into must-see TV. In her own words, "I've been able to captivate so many people who have never watched women's sports, let alone women's basketball, and turn them into fans."
We've never, ever seen somebody in this way capture an audience, capture a new audience, and be able to absolutely attribute real numbers and statistics to their popularity, right? Like 19 million people watching, and certainly watching the national championship.
What truly sets Caitlin Clark apart from other rookies isn't just her exceptional skill, it's her extraordinary ability to elevate everyone around her. This standout trait has fans and analysts alike buzzing with excitement about what lies ahead for this basketball sensation. Remember the days when WNBA games struggled to fill the stands? Those days are becoming a distant memory. For years, the WNBA grappled with low attendance and declining viewership, leaving many skeptical about its future. People questioned, can one player really make a difference? Caitlin Clark has decisively answered that question with a resounding yes, transforming the landscape of the league and proving that a single star can ignite a powerful movement.
We talk about ceilings a lot, but she created a new floor. So now we're going to look back, even if it doesn't hit the numbers that it hit this season. The expectation is much higher. The interest is generally much higher. The investment is much higher.
Let's break down the numbers. Since Caitlin Clark joined the WNBA, attendance has skyrocketed, TV ratings are through the roof, and merchandise sales are flying off the shelves. But it's not just about Clark. Her popularity is lifting the entire league. More fans, more media coverage, and more opportunities for players have transformed the WNBA into must-see entertainment. According to analysts, Clark alone is responsible for 26.5% of the league's revenue. That's not just impressive, it's a game changer. Clark has sparked a movement. Teammates like Lexi Hull and Aaliyah Boston have openly praised her, while friends like Sabrina Ionescu and Cameron Brink continue to celebrate her success. Even Kim Mulkey, Angel Reese's former coach, put aside past rivalries to call Clark a generational talent. Her impact extends far beyond her stats. She's changing how women's basketball is viewed worldwide. But with success comes backlash. Some WNBA veterans feel overshadowed by Clark's rapid rise. Aja Wilson's recent comments in Time magazine and Angel Reese's escalating speaking fees are stirring the pot, hinting at jealousy within the league. Even Cheryl Swoops, a WNBA legend, questioned Clark's recent accolades. Yet, amidst the drama, Clark remains focused, letting her game speak volumes. Her influence isn't just elevating her team, it's reshaping women's sports as a whole. From her inclusion in Forbes' 30 Under 30 to her role in boosting league-wide attendance and merchandise sales, Clark is at the forefront of a new era. As the 2025 season approaches, all eyes are on her Indiana Fever, set to face Angel Reese's Chicago Sky in a highly anticipated opener. Clark's vision goes beyond personal success. She's committed to lifting the entire sport, saying, "I know my star power comes with benefits, but I also want to honor the work done before me to bring the league to this point." Her impact is already historic, but for Clark, this is just the beginning. With her ability to inspire fans and unite players, Caitlin Clark is rewriting the playbook for women's basketball. As she continues to break records and grow the league, she's not just changing the game, she's paving the way for future generations. The excitement is building, and the best is yet to come.
Angel Reese was older. I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be?
The WNBA is absolutely losing it. On the latest comedy special, Angel Reese declared her intention to dethrone Caitlin Clark, as if the enduring superstar could be unseated by someone who's been busy feigning injuries and shedding tears over on-screen theatrics. And let's not overlook her complaints about her salary being substandard. Angel has officially branded herself.
Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor. Plain and simple.
It's truly ridiculous that she believes she can outshine Clark, the athlete who consistently makes history each season. Reese has only perfected the art of self-deprecation, but who knows? Maybe she's earning accolades for being pitiable. Before Reese starts talking about taking over the WNBA, she might want to reassess her reputation first. Switching coaches won't make her the standout. She needs to adjust her attitude first.
And look, Angel Reese, there's nothing that she does where you go, did you see her?
Angel Reese appears convinced that partnering with David Alexander, LeBron James's trainer, will catapult her into women's basketball stardom. Indeed, collaborating with one of the top trainers globally might make her seem nearly unbeatable and poised to unseat Caitlin Clark. However, while Reese is busy refining her general movement patterns, Caitlin Clark is actively enhancing her shooting and playmaking, key aspects that define the best players on the court. Best of luck, Angel. Clark is sharpening the skills that have already left you behind as you continue your current efforts. Reese might have enjoyed her time at LSU, but equating her level with Clark's is like claiming you'll drop a hit album after singing in the shower for 5 minutes. That's not competitive, it's sheer delusion. While Clark reigns supreme in basketball overall, Reese may have been LSU's standout, but Caitlin is out there transforming the entire game. Reese boasts about overtaking Clark. However, I'd love to hear more about how you intend to dethrone a legend before you've even started making your mark professionally.
Camilla, it's the most we've ever lost in our life. I only lost 7 games in my last 2 years at LSU. So, like, it's been hard for me. But adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of, like, just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Let's rewind to the 2023 NCAA Championship. Remember that scene? Reese was desperately trying to steal Clark's spotlight with a childish taunt, flashing the "you can't see me" gesture right back at Clark. Oh, that was certainly a moment, but for all the wrong reasons. While Reese was busy playing WWE with her hand movements, Clark was out there effortlessly outscoring everyone, including Reese. Angel's bold move was a weak attempt to make herself relevant by trying to steal the show for just 5 seconds. Reese was merely acting to grab attention. This isn't the case.
There is no one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
Speaking of numbers, let's consider Reese's WNBA debut. It was underwhelming at best. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is setting the league on fire, averaging 19.2 points per game and dishing out assists like she's been playing professionally for years. In comparison, Reese is putting up 13.6 points per game, which is almost 6 points shy of Clark's tally, in case anyone was unaware. And let's not overlook that Clark topped all rookies with 8.4 assists per game. So, what was Reese up to? She was still mastering consistent shooting, though she certainly gave it her best effort. Moving on to the Rookie of the Year race, Reese only reached the finals, which now feels more like a participation ribbon. Clark didn't just win, she entered the league with a clear intention to dominate, and now Reese is struggling to keep pace. Clark secured that award effortlessly. It wasn't even a contest.
But they still ask you about Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
What is your stance on that?
So my whole thing was like, when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm like, cool. Like, the pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm like, all right, cool. I could just hoop. So I don't know when like it started to just break out where I was just in Rookie of the Year conversations. I'm like, all right, cool.
It's because you started killing it.
Well,
And
yeah.
they're like,
Reese's off-court life has truly become a spectacle. She secured a shoe deal with Reebok, which is quite a feat for someone who hasn't yet proven she can consistently perform at the highest level. Let's give her that. Meanwhile, Clark is out there revolutionizing the game with every move she makes. Reese is busy showcasing her lifestyle on Instagram, which is nice and all, but if you think that will help you surpass Clark, then good luck. If I were in her place, I'd focus more on basketball instead of counting the number of likes on your posts. In summary, while Angel Reese may be garnering attention with her off-court ventures and endorsement deals, Caitlin Clark stands out as the true powerhouse in women's basketball. Clark's unwavering dedication to refining her skills, combined with her impressive on-court statistics and game-changing plays, solidifies her position as a league leader. As the WNBA progresses, it's evident that Caitlin Clark is not only setting new standards, but also shaping the future of the sport. Meanwhile, Reese's focus on lifestyle branding and inconsistent performance leaves her trailing behind, highlighting the clear distinction between fleeting fame and sustained excellence in the world of basketball.
The media, all they talk about is Caitlin. Caitlin could throw somebody a bounce pass. Oh my God, she threw it. It's all about Caitlin.
Remember all the girls that were just all talking shit about her from the beginning? This was a tune change because that's how they roll. That WNBA is woke as shit. The NBA is woke as shit. And they had to tell her, you better change your thing or we're not going to get behind you 100%. And she did. She bowed down, and that's exactly what happened.
Caitlin Clark was honored as Time's Athlete of the Year, a significant recognition for such a rising talent. However, her achievement has been eclipsed by the uproar over her remarks in the accompanying interview. In the discussion, Clark mentioned, "I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is a privilege, and a lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them." These comments have ignited passionate debates. Some commend her for bringing attention to racial disparities, a persistent issue in both sports and society. Others have taken issue, alleging that she has succumbed to societal pressures and compromised her true self. As supporters and critics clash over her statements, the pressing question emerges: what does this mean for Caitlin Clark's future and her bond with her fan base? Stay tuned as we examine reactions from influential voices in the media, starting with Candace Owens, who unexpectedly supports Clark while addressing the larger controversy.
She's 22 years old. I don't know a single commentator out there, Megyn Kelly included, who did not at some point throughout their political career have the wrong perspectives. But for whatever reason, we've decided Caitlyn's not allowed that time to grow. She's not allowed time to change. She's got to be a perfect MAGA candidate and I guess stand up to the entire mob. This girl's literally being bullied, physically bullied, I will say, by the way, on the court. And we know the basis of that is quite racist. I think she just wants to survive. I think genuinely Caitlyn just wants to survive.
It's impressive to reflect on the accomplishments Caitlin Clark has achieved at such a young age. Her swift rise to prominence can make her youth easy to overlook, but it's crucial to offer her understanding as she maneuvers through this intense spotlight and becomes entangled in cultural debates. Next, we highlight a statement from David Portnoy, the founder of Barstool Sports and a prominent social media influencer. Unlike many commentators involved in the Caitlin Clark controversy, Portnoy is a genuine sports enthusiast. He shared his honest opinions in an informal rant posted on his Instagram and Twitter, providing his perspective on both Clark's remarks and the public's reaction to them.
Caitlin Clark's popularity has absolutely nothing to do with the color of her skin. Anybody who has actually watched women's basketball or watched basketball and watched Caitlin knows she plays totally different than any woman before her.
Portnoy disputes the claim that Caitlin Clark's achievements are solely the result of white privilege, highlighting the indisputable truth that her remarkable basketball talent set her apart. Her extraordinary level of play is the genuine reason she is hailed as the leading figure in women's basketball today, potentially the greatest in the sport's entire history. Portnoy also addresses the problem of commentators engaging in the debate without being true basketball enthusiasts. He emphasizes how voices from all sides of the cultural conflict are capitalizing on Caitlin Clark's fame, using her as a symbol for agendas she doesn't actually support. This misrepresentation has caused her words and character to be distorted by those eager to shape the narrative to fit their own perspectives.
All the people who are like co-opting this, who aren't real basketball fans, who aren't real Caitlin Clark fans, are like, oh, the woke mob got to her. She's now saying her success is because of the skin and she has privilege. First of all, she didn't say she had that. She said she earned everything she got. But what do you want Caitlin Clark to do?
Portnoy further elaborates on his viewpoint, indicating that the circumstances surrounding Caitlin Clark's remarks significantly influence her decision to address such issues. He contends that her statements are more of a deliberate tactic to navigate the complexities of her WNBA career rather than a sincere political position. According to Portnoy, Caitlin's main objective is to steer clear of divisive debates, choosing instead to avoid controversy and focus on her performance on the court.
She plays in a league that is predominantly African American, and she wants to maybe show up at work and not have people hate her. She wants the league to be successful. The more successful, more stars, the better it is for her and everybody in the league. This backlash of Caitlin turned on the league and Caitlin is woke and Caitlin is this. You fuckers are crazy. And that's what I hate. This, for Caitlin, has never been about politics, never been about race.
The controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark may be increasing her visibility and online presence, but it's evident that she prefers to steer clear of the limelight it brings. Naturally humble, Clark has never sought to become a political icon. Her unwavering dedication has always been to basketball. It's her passion, her strength, and the reason she earned the title of Time's Athlete of the Year. Although the debates and discussions surrounding her have certainly amplified her fame, perhaps it's time to let her shine in her true element, performing basketball at an exceptional level. This sentiment was echoed by the legendary sportscaster Dan Patrick, who encouraged everyone to simply admire greatness when it's right before us, as it is with Caitlin Clark. With decades of experience in sports, Patrick recognizes how rare and transient moments of brilliance can be. He highlights just how unique and generational Clark's talent is, urging us to appreciate her presence in the game instead of criticizing her.
Can't we just acknowledge Caitlin Clark changed the WNBA? That's it. It's okay. You want to throw in Angel Reese. You want to throw the memory of Cheryl Miller or Cynthia Cooper. Like, it's a win. We got to... Just, this is a unique moment. Caitlin Clark did for the WNBA what Wayne Gretzky did for the NHL when he went to the LA Kings.
There's no need to politicize every action a public figure takes. Sometimes, we should pause to appreciate the qualities that made them outstanding from the start. Acknowledging Caitlin Clark for her exceptional athletic prowess doesn't detract from other athletes. Dan Patrick highlights this idea, encouraging us to honor greatness for what it truly represents.
It's okay. Take a victory lap. You don't have to go, oh my God, these people are mad, or this person's mad, or this group is mad. Caitlin Clark changed the WNBA. It's okay. It's okay to say that. You're not diminishing what the founding, fathers of the WNBA did. You're not. She's the Time Person of the Year.
In summary, Caitlin Clark's remarkable achievements at a young age have firmly established her as a standout star in women's basketball, culminating in her recognition as Time's Athlete of the Year. However, her success has not been without controversy, particularly regarding her comments on privilege and race, which have ignited a heated debate among fans and critics alike. David Portnoy has emerged as a key voice in her defense, emphasizing that Clark's extraordinary talent is the true foundation of her acclaim and criticizing those who exploit her fame for ulterior motives. Meanwhile, legendary sportscaster Dan Patrick echoes the sentiment that Clark should be celebrated for her unparalleled basketball skills, rather than being entangled in political discourse. As the discussions continue, the overarching message remains clear. Caitlin Clark deserves to be appreciated for her exceptional abilities on the court, allowing her to shine without the burden of unnecessary politicization. Moving forward, it is essential to honor her contributions to the sport and support her journey, recognizing that her brilliance is what truly makes her a deserving Athlete of the Year.
Unearned fame and fortune are far more destructive than they might appear. And right now, there's no organization on the planet that proves this point more than the WNBA. The league just posted its highest average game viewership in 24 years. They're bringing in massive new sponsorships, at least by the league standard. They're selling out arenas, which used to be unheard of for the WNBA.
Have you ever wondered why a star like Caitlin Clark is encountering criticism in the WNBA? It's not what you might expect. The league's audience numbers soared, player benefits got better, and women's basketball gained significant attention. However, suddenly, unexpected allegations began to emerge from seasoned WNBA players.
From the executives to the players to the reporters who, for their sins in a past life, have been cursed with the job of covering a women's basketball league, everyone should be overjoyed. But there's a big problem. All of this success, every bit of it, is due to the presence of one player in the league, and that is a generational talent named Caitlin Clark, who of course you've heard of. And still probably the only WNBA player whose name you know.
Matt Walsh isn't buying it. He's calling out the double standards, and trust me, he has the proof. He's armed with the data, the statistics, and he's not afraid to name names. Stay tuned as we uncover the explosive truth behind the WNBA's biggest controversy to date. You won't believe what some players are revealing behind the scenes. Ready? Let's dive in. Imagine this. Caitlin Clark steps onto the court, and the WNBA undergoes a complete transformation overnight. She's not just making an impact, she's changing the game.
She's the reason the WNBA just won the lottery. Without Caitlin Clark, nobody cares about any of these players or the league. With her, most people still don't care, but a lot more people care than did before. And everybody knows that, right? Therefore, everyone in the league other than Caitlin Clark is doing exactly what so many lottery winners do. They're allowing all of their worst personality traits to surface because they just can't help themselves.
The WNBA is undergoing an unprecedented boom. Viewership has soared to record-breaking heights, leaving executives in awe. Stadiums are packed to capacity, generating an electric energy that was once unimaginable in the WNBA. It's as if someone hit a power switch, and suddenly women's basketball has become the hottest ticket in town.
You know, there are a lot of stories out there about lottery winners who go on to destroy their lives. Something like 70% of them supposedly go bankrupt within a few years. It's not hard to see how that would happen. When you give a lot of money and attention to a person who didn't earn any of it, that person doesn't suddenly change overnight. Instead, more often than not, all of their worst character traits are amplified 10 times over, and in many cases, that leads to a very public and humiliating collapse. This is a principle that doesn't just apply to individuals, it turns out. It applies to organizations, too.
This surge in popularity is bringing in significant investments. Sponsorships and major deals are flooding in like never before. It's as though the floodgates have opened, and everyone wants a slice of the WNBA action. Players are enjoying enhanced benefits, and the league is attracting attention from unexpected sources with a surge of new fans. But here's the kicker. Not everyone is celebrating. Some players are voicing their frustrations. Can you believe it? Amidst all this success, underlying discontent is starting to surface.
There's been a lot of resentment in this league lately, in particular since the season began. And the thing about resentment, as we all know, is that it tends to fester over time. It gets worse and worse. That's exactly what we're seeing now.
It's truly perplexing. On one side, the league is finally gaining the recognition it has been yearning for. On the other, some players seem discontent with the very achievements they've been striving toward. Why? That's the million-dollar question. Are they envious of Clark's sudden rise to stardom? Concerned about what this means for their own careers? Or is there something more beneath the surface?
Race hysteria in the WNBA has somehow reached yet another inflection point. The league is currently in the midst of what really might be the single most contrived racism scandal, certainly in any professional sport, at least since the fake noose in Bubba Wallace's garage. Specifically, a bunch of WNBA players have come out claiming that they've been victimized by racial slurs and other forms of racist attacks. Like, a lot of players are claiming this.
Imagine this. The WNBA is soaring on an unprecedented wave of popularity, and then a bombshell hits that shakes the league to its very foundation. We're discussing explosive accusations of racism that threaten to dismantle women's basketball. It's like striking a match in a room filled with gasoline.
How do you feel about what has happened over the past year with the W since you first came in to where it is now? And obviously the game has grown and there's new fans, but how do you appreciate the new fans without all the noise that's coming
with them? I appreciate the new fans that sit there and yell racial slurs at myself, my teammates, and the people that I play against, because yeah, those might be opponents, but those are friends too. You know, they don't deserve that. So I don't appreciate the new fans. I think it's okay to do that.
Brittany Griner, one of the league's biggest stars, steps forward with a startling allegation. She claims that new fans are hurling slurs during games. Can you believe it?
The question that Brittany Griner was asked was about the massive growth of this league, which was dead in the water just a year ago and had been dead for its entire existence. And the reporter asked, what do you think of all the new fans? And like in any other context, when someone says, what do you think of all the new fans that are coming in? Usually it's, oh, it's great. We love how everybody is supporting the league and we're so grateful. None of that. Instead of some gratitude, some appreciation for the people who have saved the WNBA, who pay to come out to see bad players like Brittany Griner, instead of that, we get resentment.
Now for the details. None of these racial slurs have been confirmed, even though some are alleged to have happened during games. As far as I know, none of them have been captured on camera. Interesting. There's no visual or audio proof to back any of these claims. Not a single trustworthy report either. That's highly unusual, especially considering there are cameras and smartphones at every WNBA game. Walsh isn't holding back. He's stating it exactly as he sees it, asserting that these accusations are completely fabricated. It's a daring claim, but it's making people take notice. But let's slow down for a moment. Why would players fabricate something so serious? That's the million-dollar question sparking intense debates among fans and critics alike. Are they trying to create drama? Is there something else happening behind the scenes? If there were, the videos would be all over the internet, but they're nowhere to be found. They don't exist online. So instead, we're left having to rely on the players' statements. The entire situation is causing turmoil within the league. On one side, you have players feeling wronged and calling for action. On the other, there are skeptics like Walsh demanding solid evidence before making any judgments. And in the middle of it all, the fans, the sponsors, and the future of the WNBA itself. The offseason at the Indiana Fever is on fire. Rumors about NaLyssa Smith are swirling, and tensions between her and Caitlin Clark are reaching a boiling point. Let's dive into the drama and uncover what's really going on once and for all. The Indiana Fever have had an amazing season with remarkable highs and challenging lows, but nothing could have prepared them for the shock caused by NaLyssa Smith's actions, which many see as an unexpected betrayal. Smith's recent behavior has created friction within the team and has fans questioning the future of the Indiana Fever. We'll explore the controversy, fan and teammate reactions, and the potential consequences for both Smith and the Fever. It all started with a tweet. NaLyssa Smith posted a photo of herself in a purple car with the caption, "Purple looks good on us." This innocent post caught the attention of Paige Buchers, a standout college basketball player, who responded with fire emojis. Smith's reply, "You just gotta let him be delusional," sparked rumors about her future with the Fever. The timing was bad, as the Fever were celebrating Caitlin Clark's record-breaking 35-point game, securing the 6th playoff seed after an impressive 18-10 run following a poor 2-9 start. Instead of focusing on their resurgence, Smith's tweet brought attention to internal conflicts. Sources say Caitlin Clark confronted Smith about the tweet, questioning her commitment and highlighting Smith's dissatisfaction with her role and playing time. During the regular season finale against the Dallas Wings, Smith started the game, scored 8 points, and grabbed 6 rebounds in 19 minutes before being benched for the second half. Frustrated, she posted, "Fun while it lasted, babe," in response to her girlfriend's supportive message, hinting at tensions with teammates and coaching staff. The public reaction was swift and harsh. Fans flooded social media with calls for Smith's removal, using hashtags like #TeamCaitlin and #TeamNaLyssa. Many felt betrayed by her perceived lack of loyalty, especially given her strong performances and high expectations. Sports analysts debated whether Smith's actions were due to deeper team issues or mere miscommunication. Some defended her frustrations over reduced playing time, while others criticized her professionalism and its impact on team morale. Head coach Christy Sides is in a tough spot, trying to maintain team unity while addressing the backlash. She issued a statement about handling matters privately, but insiders say she's deeply concerned about the situation's impact on the playoffs. Several options are being considered: team meeting and reconciliation, addressing issues directly to encourage open communication, disciplinary action, ranging from fines to temporary suspension to reinforce team cohesion, trade speculations, exploring trade options, though Smith is under contract until 2026. Public apology. Smith could apologize publicly to mend relationships and quell fan outrage. Meanwhile, NaLyssa Smith remains active on social media. Fans are questioning her commitment to the game as she continues to clash out with her star teammate Clark. People are wondering, is this all because of jealousy due to Caitlin stealing the spotlight? Smith's on-court performance has declined in the last season, averaging 10.5 points and 7.2 rebounds per game, down from last year's 15.5 points and 9.2 rebounds. Her playing time has also decreased from 30.7 minutes in 2022 to 25 minutes now. The Fever exercised their fourth-year option on her contract, securing her through 2025 with a salary increase next year. While her financial future with the team is secure, her role and satisfaction remain uncertain, as it's very likely we will not see her return after this upcoming season. Whether this incident becomes a catalyst for growth or a source of division depends on how the Fever, especially Smith and Clark, choose to move forward. This controversy also highlights the broader impact of social media on professional sports, reminding athletes to balance personal expression with professional responsibilities.
Today, she has released, well, she's not released, it has been announced that her shoe is going to be dropped this week, and we can see what it looks like.
Nike's decision has ignited widespread outrage, with fans left questioning the company's priorities.
So Paige Beckers is arguably the best player in college basketball right now. She's had a really good start to the season, and again, she's a 23-year-old dominating against 18-year-olds. She should be.
While Paige Buchers makes history as the first college athlete with a Nike sneaker, Caitlin Clark, widely regarded as one of the most electrifying players in women's basketball, remains notably absent from the spotlight.
So Nike's first Paige Beckers shoe drops this week. So Caitlin Clark has not had a shoe. By the way, she's had nothing. She's had nothing except the Rookie of the Year top.
How did Nike miss the mark with their biggest star? Was this a calculated strategy or an outright blunder? This is the story of how Nike's latest move has divided fans and ignited controversy in women's basketball. By unveiling a signature shoe for Paige Buchers, while seemingly sidelining Caitlin Clark, Nike has sparked shockwaves across the sports world. What should have been a groundbreaking moment for women's basketball has quickly spiraled into a PR crisis, with fans, analysts, and casual observers alike questioning the brand's priorities. The controversy goes beyond the sneaker. It's about how Nike's decision is being interpreted as a glaring snub of Caitlin Clark, a player widely recognized as the face of women's basketball.
Nike signed Beckers in September 2023, where she frequently wore the GT Hustle 2 on court. She signed several NIL deals. So, Nike signed Caitlin Clark in 2022. Nada. Nike signed Paige Beckers in 2023. Signature shoe straight away.
Fans are outraged, flooding social media with calls for action, including boycotts of Nike products. How do you ignore Caitlin Clark, the best player in women's basketball? One fan tweeted. Another added, Nike just doesn't get it. Disrespecting Caitlin Clark is unacceptable, and I'm done buying their products. These frustrations are mirrored in fan forums, where debates over Nike's priorities dominate discussions. Some fans are even posting videos of themselves discarding Nike gear, while others are pledging to switch to competitors like Adidas or Under Armour. The backlash is undeniable, and the noise is only getting louder. The irony of this controversy is rooted in Caitlin Clark's undeniable greatness. She doesn't need brands to validate her. Brands need her. At just 22, Clark has transcended college basketball, becoming a household name in sports overall. Her record-breaking performances, exceptional leadership, and ability to draw massive crowds have cemented her status as a superstar. Her jaw-dropping shots and playmaking skills regularly go viral, captivating basketball fans across the globe and proving that her impact speaks for itself.
It's cool. And look, I think it's simultaneously, it's okay to say it's really cool that Paige Becker's getting her shoe, but Nike fumbled Caitlin Clark so badly.
The controversy highlights a larger issue with Nike's approach to sports marketing. While Buchers is undeniably talented and deserving of recognition, many feel that Clark's cultural and athletic impact has reached unprecedented levels. Her performances consistently draw massive audiences, and her highlights frequently go viral, captivating basketball fans worldwide. For a brand as influential as Nike, sidelining such a star feels like a glaring missed opportunity. Nike's decision not to launch a Caitlin Clark signature shoe has also raised concerns about their ability to connect with their audience. Fans argue that Clark's dominance and charisma make her the perfect candidate to lead a campaign that could transcend sports and become a cultural moment. Instead, Nike's move has been widely interpreted as tone-deaf, sparking backlash that continues to grow. This misstep has opened the door for competitors like Adidas and Under Armour to step in and align themselves with Clark, whose marketability continues to soar. A Caitlin Clark signature shoe could not only boost sales, but also send a powerful message about valuing women's sports. If Nike doesn't act quickly, they risk losing one of the brightest stars in basketball to a rival brand. For now, Caitlin Clark's star power shines brighter than ever. She doesn't need a signature shoe to prove her greatness. Her talent and influence speak for themselves. However, for Nike, this situation serves as a wake-up call. The backlash has shown that fans are paying attention, demanding better representation, and willing to hold brands accountable. If Nike fails to recognize Clark's value, it risks falling behind in the rapidly evolving landscape of women's sports marketing.
Caitlin Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael Jordan.
Remember when Michael Jordan's name was pure marketing magic, turning every product he endorsed into a must-have item? Well, a new star is taking the sports world by storm, and she's just out of college. Caitlin Clark has signed a deal so revolutionary that it's making WNBA veterans break out in a cold sweat.
But she's incredible. Congratulations to her and her family.
Yeah.
Like the crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal.
But here's the truth. Clark isn't just selling merchandise. She's packing arenas to capacity. In this video, we'll unveil Clark's game-changing deal with Michael Jordan and break down why some WNBA stars on the sidelines are frowning in frustration. Stay tuned, because by the end, we'll share Jordan's inspiring remarks and reveal the unique basketball statistic that only his royal airness and Caitlin share. Ready to dive in? Let's get started.
Where he's like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, probably eventually Caitlin Clark, where it's like individual people make an entire country tune into their sport.
1,000%.
Like hockey was never bigger than when Wayne Gretzky was playing it, and it was ridiculous how much it grew the sport.
Tiger Woods.
Imagine a basketball star so exceptional that her gear flies off the shelves in minutes. Now, picture the talent behind it all. That's exactly what's happening with Caitlin Clark's groundbreaking partnership with Wilson Sporting Goods. This isn't just another endorsement, it's a transformative deal that's sending shockwaves through the sports arena. Wilson has appointed Clark as the first female athlete to launch her own signature basketball collection since Michael Jordan back in the 1980s. Take a moment to let that sink in. We're witnessing a level of recognition and marketability that was once exclusive to the all-time greats, and now It's Caitlin Clark stepping into that elite league.
Making her the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from Wilson.
What really sets this deal apart is how fast it took off. Caitlin Clark's limited edition basketballs hit shelves and vanished in a flash. We're talking tens of thousands of units sold out in under 40 minutes. That's the sort of buying frenzy you'd expect for a new PlayStation or exclusive sneaker launches. So, what makes these basketballs so special? Each one is a mini masterpiece commemorating Clark's phenomenal college career. Envision white and gold designs, laser etched with her most iconic highlights. There's the Free Up, a tribute to her pinpoint shooting, the Record Breaker, marking her history-making feats, and the Crowd Maestro, honoring her ability to electrify an entire arena. And if that weren't enough, she just dropped another collection in partnership with the $15 billion chain Hibbett Sports.
Calling all Caitlin Clark fans, 2 new limited edition basketballs are now available at select Hy-Vee stores. The designs are part of the Inspire series that Clark is doing in partnership with Wilson Sporting Goods. The tribute ball pays homage to Clark's time with the Iowa women's basketball team, and the Dreamer ball is designed to encourage athletes to pursue their dreams. Both are available in sizes 3 and 6 at select Hy-Vee locations.
Wilson didn't choose Clark solely for her basketball prowess. They recognized a rising cultural figure. As Amanda Lamb, Wilson's global brand director, put it, Caitlin Clark is not just a record-breaking athlete, but a cultural phenomenon who's reshaping the game. Think about the gravity of that. Wilson has been supplying basketballs for the NBA for ages and took over the WNBA contract in 2020. Now they're placing a massive bet on Clark to front their women's basketball line, a clear indicator that the landscape of women's sports marketing is evolving, with Clark at its epicenter. But here's the real game changer. Clark's partnership with Wilson doesn't just elevate her own career, it's redefining the possibilities for all female athletes in the sports marketing sphere. And as we're about to discover, it's stirring up plenty of buzz in WNBA locker rooms.
And when you take into stock the fact that outside of Kevin Durant, aging superstar, LeBron James, damn near 40 years old, and Steph Curry, there's not a single NBA player more popular today than Caitlin Clark.
They say numbers don't lie, but when it comes to Caitlin Clark, the numbers aren't just talking, they're shouting from the rooftops. How is one player tripling viewership? And what does it mean for the future of women's basketball? Let's break it down. Clark's impact on the WNBA isn't just big, it's record-shattering. We're talking about a star who's not just playing the game, but changing how people watch it. Picture this, arenas packed to the rafters, TV ratings through the roof, and a buzz around women's basketball that we haven't seen, well, ever.
We knew Caitlin Clark was marketable, but she's been put over some pretty big names. In fact, some worldwide, huge, international names. 2 of them being Messi and Ronaldo.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's viewership stats for a moment. Her games are drawing an average of over 1 million viewers. That's not just impressive, it's 3 times the usual WNBA audience. Let that sink in. A single player is tripling the league's numbers. It's almost like she's got a magic volume knob, and she's turning women's basketball all the way up.
For Caitlin Clark, on a worldwide marketability list for athletes, to be ahead of both Messi and Ronaldo is quite impressive. I mean, she's ahead of Steph Curry. Steph Curry is behind her on the list.
But it's not just about the stats. Clark is pulling in viewers who've never watched a WNBA game in their lives. How? By playing with a flair and intensity you can't ignore. She's not simply racking up points, she's generating highlight reels that fans can't stop passing around. Don't just take my word for it, though. Listen to Mike Breen, the voice of the NBA.
She's doing rating-wise for the WNBA what Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry
have been doing to the NBA.
That's more than just high praise. It places Clark alongside the true titans of basketball. But here's the real twist. She's not only dominating on the court, she's also become a marketing force to be reckoned with. Experts now rank her as the 4th most marketable athlete across the entire sports landscape, not just in women's basketball or the WNBA, but in all of athletics. That level of influence reshapes games, leagues, and the entire framework of sports marketing. So, what's next? With Clark at the forefront, expect major changes in how the WNBA promotes itself. We're talking fresh sponsorships, increased primetime broadcasts, and a whole new wave of mainstream interest in women's basketball. Of course, not everyone is celebrating. Some of the league's seasoned players are watching this rookie phenomenon with clenched jaws and raised eyebrows. And that's where things start to get complicated.
The idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists.
Okay.
To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pros?
Picture this, a newcomer setting the league on fire, shattering 62 records and mesmerizing crowds. Sounds like a dream for the WNBA, right? Well, not everyone is applauding. As Caitlin Clark's star continues to ascend, some seasoned players are feeling the pressure, and it's not exactly pleasant. Let's get real. The WNBA has spent years battling for respect and recognition. Veteran athletes have poured in sweat, blood, and tears to establish something extraordinary. Then, along comes Clark, and it's as though she flipped the script with one simple truth. Her game is just that good.
And what a lot of people weren't willing or were a bit reluctant to appreciate was the game on this young white sister of ours. She can ball. And oh, by the way, she was a great ambassador for the game. And by the way, she came in there and looked out for everybody else. For 22 years, they couldn't get chartered flights. That sister got there and it was done in 2 weeks. That's who Caitlin Clark is.
This isn't just a few annoyed whispers. We're talking full-on tension during matchups. Certain players are coming at Clark with an intensity that goes way beyond regular competition. It's as if they're sending a direct message, you might be the rising star, but this is our territory.
They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court. Instead of playing the game, they gotta be drama because they're jealous. Instead of letting their skills speak for themselves, they gotta be drama because they're jealous.
So why the friction? It's not a one-note story. On the one hand, Clark's skyrocketing fame means lucrative endorsement deals and immediate name recognition. On the other, you have long-standing WNBA pros who've been hustling for years with only a fraction of the spotlight. It's creating a noticeable rift you just can't ignore.